Derek Dixon needs to be the starting point guard for this team. We've said it since November, and it's finally coming true, and he's looking like a true UNC point guard. UNC pulls off a massive win over the Cavaliers in Charlottesville today, and honestly, super impressed by the team, specifically that second half. I think what you saw there was basically they did the little things right. If you looked at the first half, it was literally feeling like what we just saw out of them on the West Coast trip. They're missing shots inside. They're not making free throws. They're having silly turnovers. We look like we don't have a true point guard. We don't defend the 3-point line. They're all over the place, but it looked like a completely different team in the second half. And you'll take that. If they can hold on to that and carry that second half performance, as well as tweaking and fixing some things, which we'll get into here shortly, have an upward trend through the ACC play, and maybe even get all the way up to third in the conference. First or second might be kind of tough with the way the schedule lays out from here on out. But real quick, when we get into it, as we've said before, Derek Dixon needs to be the starting point guard for this team. We've said it since November, and it's finally coming true, and he's looking like a true UNC point guard. There were even times tonight where, or today, there were even times today where he's pushing that ball up the court, immediately looking ahead. Low key looked like Kendall Marshall. That was kind of what I got from some of the passes that he was able to make. But again, when you do that, you put pressure on the defense. You're scoring against an unset defense. You're either going to get a layup, get fouled, or both. And that's why transition basketball is so important and been part of that Carolina way for so long that we haven't seen a lot. Now, on the other side of that, you need the horses to be able to do that. And I don't think Carolina has that all the way through to be able to play transition for 30 to 40 minutes a game. But there's a way where you can at least input lineups like Dixon, Stevenson, Wilson, Seth, and a Powell or a Young or multiple guys you could throw in that fifth spot and say, okay, guys, look, 4 minutes between the under 16 and the under 12. We're going to try to play really fast with this lineup. Let's see what we can do, and we can get reinforcements and try to buy time. So I think it's something they need to look into and use more of. They can't play 40 minutes like that. You can't ask them to do it. But can they find little gaps and bits like they did tonight to switch games? And that was a big reason why they went from down to going back up. The easiest shots in basketball are layups and free throws. And Carolina has got to get their free throw thing figured out. While even with them being as great as they were in the second half up until those last two missed shots, I think with under 90 seconds to go, they still shot in the 60% as a team again from the free throw line. They've got to be able to fix that, because if you can fix that, that becomes another tool in the arsenal of playing fast and getting downhill and having guards like Dixon who can turn the corner and put their head on the rim. By doing that, if you can get to the foul count early and be able to shoot even just 75, 74% as a team, you're going to open up a whole new avenue of ability to be able to beat teams. Right now, there's still too many holes, too many flaws that this Carolina team can still get got at. But if they're able to continue to fix this and adjust those things, I think they can have obviously a much better showing than what we saw on this West Coast trip. And hopefully the second half against Virginia shows that. My biggest critique tonight, because the game was not perfect, I think towards the end of the game, I understand why Luke is in, because he's your second leading scorer, I believe, and he's coming off the bench, and you want him offensively. But then you didn't really use him a lot offensively in those final 5 possessions. I think of the final 5, he touched the ball once, which ended up leading to the Jaren driving to the basket and getting the fouled. But defensively, he's still a liability. If you're in that situation, unless there's something up with Powell, I think you need to try to do your best to go defensive, offensive substitution patterns and switch those guys in and out. At that point in the game is going to stop basically almost after every single possession. And truthfully, in that situation, when you're already up 4 after Seth's free throw, defense is what's going to get you home. Luka gets blown by a couple times. He gets away with a foul and one that Virginia scores off of. And realistically, you want to see Powell in that situation. I get it from an offensive standpoint, but then you got to use him. You only used him once in those final few possessions. He's too much of a liability to allow some of that to happen. And if you really want him in, go defensive, offensive, have Powell up at the scorers table no matter what. And as soon as the ball switches back, you can flip him in and out. That was my biggest critique with it. Kind of forgetting some of the stuff we saw in the first half. But remember, guys, hit like, share the video, hit subscribe in your name in the portal. Also, please stay safe no matter where you are. I am in North Carolina. Stay warm, stay safe, and please avoid getting on the roads unless you absolutely have to. Hopefully the boys are able to get back safely tonight and everybody's good to go. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe in your name in the portal. We will see you guys on the next one. Thanks.